Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast, a fan podcast dedicated to Manchester United Football Club. Before we proceed, follow, subscribe, whether you are on Instagram, TikTok, or X, RD Red Corner Kick Pod on X, and the Red Devils Corner Kick Pod on TikTok and Instagram. And then don't forget to choose as well as to listen on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as well. So I hope everyone enjoyed their week. For me, it's a long weekend that we're going into. So if you have a long weekend, please enjoy it. Be safe. But yes, it's Friday. I know I didn't do episode today. So this is kind of yesterday's episode. A lot of things. Kind of the reason why I didn't do yesterday's episode is obviously with the loss to Grimsby, with the way I went a little bit on Grimsby, or the loss on Wednesday with Amarim. I gave myself an extra day. I didn't go on Amarim, but the whole situation with Amarim, the fans, the channels, everyone hating on him, and me just losing it with the way things went in the game. And obviously, I did not go into any blame, I did not go the way everyone else was going. I saw what I saw with the game, and I saw that it was the players. That's what I saw with the game. But I gave myself an extra day. Obviously, we've had a change over the last day or two since the game. Fan channels, some of them. Many fans have also changed their view from what happened on Wednesday. So we're there. We see everyone's there, and it's still an extra day. Since then, a few things have kind of happened. So, one, we have the Burnley match tomorrow, which I'm going to get into. I'm going to get into that later on in the pod. But a few things as well. Garnacho has been officially sold to Chelsea. We have Rasmus Højlund, who is potentially on his way out to Napoli. What else is there? Obviously, Rashford is there. Sancho is still there. They've lowered the price to about 15 million. Antony was on his way out. It's crazy how that Real Betis situation has gone this season, has gone this transfer window. It's the only club he's wanted. They've wanted him. They're definitely trying to negotiate to get a loan. There was an offer for 25 million, 50% sell-on clause. But Betis withdrew. They couldn't afford the transfer. Those were really agreed on. They also don't want to pay his wage. They wanted to lower it. Antony also wants to get additional pay for him lowering his price and going off. The deal fell through. So Sancho, Antony, it looks like are going to be staying at Manchester United unless something changes over the weekend. We also have Højlund potentially going. That deal is going to be about just over 40 million. I believe just over 40 million euros, or close to 45 million euros. Sancho's going for 40 plus a 10% sell-on clause as well. So we have that. So we're getting some funds in. We just need to remove two more. Malacia is slowly in the works. There's been a couple clubs inquiring about him, but here we are. We have this. Not only that, like I mentioned before I started talking about those group of guys, the fallout from Thursday, from going in one direction with the fan base, it looks like everything has kind of split. The media itself, well, we can talk about TalkSport, Sky, BBC, ESPN, CBS, Golazo. We can talk about other fan channels. There's a lot of people just going after Amarim, obviously with him on the bench, but there's just a way they are still going on with him. They're talking about system. They're talking about how the formation, how he won't change, how they should go back to the Ten Hag and Ollie, the good old 4-2-3 or 4-2, what was it? Yeah, 4-2-3-1 system. The same system that got Ten Hag sacked, that got Ollie sacked, that got Jose sacked, that got, Ranić that's no longer there. Ranić didn't really, but even Van Nistelrooy, as much as it helped a little bit, basically didn't keep him either. That was more of we had a manager change, ooh la la, which is what we've always had when we always have the main manager and the fill-in comes in, yada yada. You have Michael Carrick as well, but the formation was never the issue, ladies and gentlemen. And people are talking about tactics, and I did go off Wednesday. So if you've seen my Twitter page, I did send out a few things as well. I'll include them in the post with the way I was, but I even responded to some people's replies too. But let's recap. Like, the system is not the issue. The formation is not the issue. And everyone's calling 5 at the back, which is hilarious. It's 3 at the back. You have your wingers. You have your 2 midfielders. Yes, the wingers act as your forwards and as your defenders. They're tracking back. So yes, they can sometimes act as 5 additional, but you're only with 3 defensive players. Not only that, Ahmad is, if you push him at wing back, he is not a natural defender. Dorgu, yes, he is a natural defender, but he can carry the ball offensively better than Delo can. Delo struggled again. But, again, the formation was not the issue. Like I said on Wednesday after the match, Fredrickson wasn't the greatest. Aiden Heaven was not the greatest. Delo sucked. Kobe Mainu, for everyone that wanted him to start, struggled. Didn't get better until Bruno came on, the guy that everyone wants him to replace and start over him after the Fulham game. Ugarte was terrible. Casemiro wasn't obviously there. So in Onana, well, I don't need to remind you all what Onana had done. But again, it is never the system. It is the ability of our players to take a game seriously. Like I said in one of my episodes, it was titled, United and Inconsistency Are Best Friends. Ruben even said it, and other players said it. It was not the system. It was not the tactics. It's the ability of players to just basically look at it and be like, what the hell? They should have been able to attack. They should have been able to play. They should have done all of this, but they did not. They could not play. And that's where it was. That's where it led to. That's all that we are. So right now, that's what it is. And the fallout from that has split this fan base from, yes, it's Ruben and his system and his stubbornness, to how about we hold the players accountable? I like how all the people were on Ruben for everything that he did on Wednesday. It was all on him. It was his fault. It was everything. A group of that has split away, and here we are now realizing that it's not the system. It is the players themselves. Ruben should not be let go. By the way, I'm very happy United came out and said they're still supporting him. I'm happy with his press conference today, talking about the way he feels and how he acts and how he is. Perfect. I never had an issue with Ruben's filter, or lack thereof. He loves to express himself. I've been always okay with that. That's who he is. He's not going to change that. He's not going to change the formation. He's not going to change everything. Ladies and gentlemen, as much as we can talk about, he got his 3 signings. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Should we get a round of applause? Look, he got his 3 players. Here we are, yay, good for him getting his 3 players. Because, those 3 players are really going to make a fucking difference for who we had. We have no midfielder. We didn't get a proper goalie. And I know I mentioned at the beginning, having a proper offense and transition and everything will relieve the goalie. But Jesus Christ, I didn't expect Onana to lay the way he did in penalties and in also the 2 goals that he caused against Grimsby. Now, that don't get me wrong. The whole team contributed to being shit on Wednesday. It was a unified team effort, but it was definitely unified the way by him leading it and just sucking. Again, it's just not Onana that sucked. Again, I mentioned it. Onana gave us an opportunity in penalties. He made a save. We had an opportunity to go on and win it in penalties. Obviously, we did not. So again, it is a collective effort of the team. Onana put us in that position where we had to come back and win or tie. He redeemed himself by he kind of made it a little bit better by him making a save and give us an opportunity through Cunha, who did not do well on the penalty. So it definitely was, but Onana didn't really make himself, but at the end of the day, we lost, and there's nothing we can change about it. We can talk about everything that can change, but at the end of the day, we're out, and we've moved on from it. But still, the media and fan channels, I even saw something on Bleacher Report. I believe I saw something today talking about the odds of managers replacing Amarim. The media is the media. They are. The media is the media, and let them talk about it, whatever. Let them do it. They need to get views. They need something to talk about, and it's usually to talk about Manchester United the way they are right now than it's talking about Tottenham getting the signings that they wanted, Arsenal improving on the season, Liverpool getting better or getting a sack. They want to talk about this. This is what gets them their views. It's easier to talk about Manchester United changing another manager, getting more views, than it is talking about the success of other clubs. Listen, I've known it's going to take a while to build this. This isn't going to take one summer transfer window to be like, okay, we're winning the Prem, ladies and gentlemen. We've played 2 Premier League games and 1 Cup game, and yes, it hasn't gone so far. We have Burnley tomorrow. Again, I'm going to start talking about them in a couple minutes. But we have to let this thing work out. If you're a Man United fan and you want to jump ship now, go right ahead. I suggest you find a new football club. That's one of my recommendations. For all those United fans that are just jumping ship now because they don't believe in Ruben, because they're not doing you're not liking what he is doing, and you don't realize that it's going to get worse, even though he said it's going to get worse. Like, he has to get things done right. He hasn't built up everything. Everything is going to take time. It is. The one thing that sucked too is that Onana was so bad that there was a story that West Ham were willing to go after Onana. He was so bad, West Ham's like, no, we're good. That's how bad he was. He was so bad that he got himself away from a new team. It's the truth. He was so bad he got himself away from a new team. It sucks. It really does. It sucks. Because you know what? Lamens looks like he's slowly on his way in. And Onana is going to be at the bottom. He will be the last goalie to be ever relied on. Tom Heaton should be getting minutes before Onana should be this season. I get it. He may not have played preseason, but he put in those oppositions. He couldn't stop a penalty. He didn't properly, his hands were so flimsy, he just couldn't do it. He always dove to the left. Yeah. But yes, the fallout from Wednesday it still continues. We're going into Burnley. So yes, the pressure from Wednesday is going to go into this game on Saturday. It's going to be there. But the fan base needs to realize. It needs to realize that things are just, it's going to take time. It wasn't going to get resolved in one transfer window, ladies and gentlemen. I knew that. We still need depth pieces. There's still more to go. Wharton is still a target. Lamens is still being worked on. Baliba could still be a target for next year. There's potential there. There is. We still have the January transfer window. We have until Monday, 7 a.m. I think British Standard Time. Not 7 a.m. 7 p.m. BST. So, and then we have the January transfer window. So we have that there. Plus, yeah. So, and then not only that, Bruno, the whole Saudi thing, I don't know what's happening with that. That doesn't seem to be going further. So, and then obviously the Kobe Mainu news that has come out as well. So definitely a lot of things since Wednesday has carried over. The fallout. And I know I didn't mention Kobe. I may have mentioned Kobe, but no, I was talking about those that were sold, but Kobe. And I'm not saying that's what's there. It's been reported that he's been upset and frustrated. And you know what? Like, I understand he wants playing time, but Ruben has set out what needs to be done. He has laid out a map for him to tell him what he needs to do. I know that I guess he didn't make. I don't think he made the England World Cup's England squad. Let's just check here. Let's check the England announcement for the squad here, because I saw that news. Yeah, because Trent Alexander was not there. Let's just take a look. Yeah, so let's just take a look here. Yeah, Kobe Mainoo didn't even make. Kobe Mainoo's not even on the England squad for the international break. Oh well. Like, it's tough. I know it's a World Cup year. People are going to want it. Like, that's kind of why we have Luke Shaw back right now. Knock on wood. But, like, actually, is Luke Shaw on that thing? Defenders, Reese. No, Luke Shaw didn't. Luke Shaw's not there. Okay, cool. Perfect. No, because I saw a meme and saw something like, "Oh, Luke Shaw World Cup," and they made a little joke, but no, here we are. Like, you know, here we are. But yeah, Luke Shaw didn't make it, and Kobe didn't make it. So which should show motivation. I know you want to go to another team and get minutes. Luke Shaw is going to get minutes. He will. When Mazraoui comes back, that might change a bit. Like, for all we know, we see Matt go into that CDM role. We might. I think he's physical enough. I think he can carry the ball. He can hold it up. He can do things in that middle. It's a good piece there. We're looking for Saku Kone to come out soon. Hopefully, once he's healed, we'll see him start preparing in those roles too. But the manager has given you an opportunity. He's told you what he wants to see. If you want to just not do that, and I get people are like, it's Bruno, but guess what? There's going to be a moment there where Bruno needs to get pulled off, or Bruno hypothetically gets injured. And then you have to take advantage of that and play. This is Bruno's final year. You need to start looking at what Bruno does and adapt. Like, don't do everything Bruno does. Like, we want discipline. But you should be able to hold up, carry the ball, transition it, and then move into the offensive space. And then your CDM is going to help you cover. But you yourself need to realize, hey, this is what we got. This is what we need. So, but yeah, the Kobe situation sucks. But at the end of the day, if you're not willing to do what's right for your career and you think moving and leaving this club is there, then so be it. If the pressure of being a part of this club, if you're leaving because you think that the manager is going to be gone while you're on loan and you come back and you're happy and the manager is going to play to you, leave. Don't be part of this club. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to leave and your mentality is minutes and possibly thinking that the manager is going to go because you're seeing all the rumors and potentially, go. Because what happens if the next manager is the same like Ruben and does exactly the same thing to you? I don't want Kobe to go. I want him to fight and be mature and play through. But if he's not, and if he's going to leave because maybe he thinks that he will get more time, because what happens if he goes to another club and it's the same situation too? Like, if you're coming out on loan, it's not mostly to be a starter. You're there because potentially for a depth piece or a rotational piece if they're in Champions League. So remember that. And remember that whatever league you go to, it's not going to be like the Prem. But if you're more focused on just worrying about World Cup, not the club, and not getting better and helping your team improve, and part of you also thinks, well, if I go, the manager may be gone, and I come back and the manager that's going to be there is going to give me what I want. I hope that's not the case. I hope that last bit is not the case in terms of Kobe Mainu, because if it is, I don't want that in the club. The club needs a culture change, and from what happened Wednesday, the culture change needs to be changed. It needs to go. Whatever culture is there existingly, Ruben needs to work on a way to get rid of it. It needs to go. It needs to disappear. We have to eradicate it. And if you have a young player like that, acting that way, we can't have that go on for his career. We can't have it go on with Manchester United. So maybe it is time to sell him. Maybe it's time to go. Stop blaming the manager and everything, because the manager's job is to set the standards for this team. And if us as a fan base cannot accept those standards, then we're screwed. We're never going to grow as a club. We're never going to get back to the identity of what Manchester United is. People wanted a system. He brought in a system. He wanted someone who was against Player FC and started holding it down and controlling it and start building a proper culture. We have that. The fan base, go ahead. Let the fan base, the fan base is turning. It's because they thought it was going to be a cakewalk because of the additional signings. We're still missing pieces. I didn't say we were winning the Prem. I never thought we were winning the Prem. I think I said top 6, maybe. And I listed out 7 teams that could potentially be a problem for us this year. 10, I said. The battle for top half was going to be tough. If you want to abandon ship on this club, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. No other fan base is going to stop you. I saw the call-ins. One guy switched to Everton. People want the manager gone. This fan base, again, and I've said it again and again and again, this fan base would have sacked Fergie. They would have. I saw it on Twitter the other day, someone posting a news article saying, get Fergie out. I think that was his 4th year into the team. They wanted him gone. It takes time. It takes more than one summer window to get the team that you want. It takes time. Yes, wins matter. We don't want to get relegated. Yes, I understand that. But the feeling over the last 48 hours has definitely shown how our fan base is the worst in sports. I shouldn't say sports. No, that's there. But we are the worst in the football culture. I'll say it. Yes, I'm running a fan channel here, but we can be the worst in football. The way we just hold ourselves. I don't care. Listen, I didn't want to make this a rant episode because I have the preview to still do for Burnley. And I have my squad prediction and everything set for Burnley. I have one maybe addition there that could change, but we're set for Burnley almost. So, but yeah, it's the truth. We are and I'm a fan base of some other ones as well. But yes, United, for the way we are, and I know it's been a long 10 years, but before Sir Alex came, it was a struggle with them. It was basically, I think, 10 years or just over 10 years from when United were relegated in the 70s. So, we did struggle. Sir Alex, I believe, finished outside the top 10 a couple times when he started off as a manager. I know the first and third season, 13th and 11th, was there. People wanted him gone. The manager of, was it Derby County? Or Coventry, sorry. The manager of Coventry that we played in the FA Cup semi-final. That manager was the player who saved Sir Alex in the semi-final. That was him. That was the guy who saved Sir Alex. He's the reason why we kept the job. And then, obviously, went on to history, and this whole fan base praises him. This whole fan base praises him for being one of the greatest in football history. That's not a joke. You think he's still the king of England, or king of the Premier League? Sorry, but the way this things have been going on, like this fan base is going to self-destruct because they can't wait. They want to go through another manager. You have fan accounts choosing the next manager. I don't want another manager. I want to go through this manager and build. If we get rid of another manager, you can forget the idea of 2028 of winning the Prem. You can forget that idea of what Ineos has. You can scrap that and we'll start again. That won't be happening. But it's going to take time to lead up to everything. Let's finish out his contract at least. Let's go. Get the squad that he wants. He wanted Cunha. He wanted Sesko. He wanted Abuemo. Boom, his attack. He's happy with his back three. Let him get his midfielder. He wanted a midfielder and a new keeper. He wanted 5 positions this summer. 5. He's got 3. And you can bring in Dorgu. You can talk about Aiden Heaven, Cheeto Obi as well earlier on, and Diego Leon. I'm okay with those players too. So technically, Diego Leon and Dorgu were in January in the +3. So technically, yes, you have 5 players, but that was last season, the 2. And this season, we need the keeper and the midfielder. It's the truth. Binder starting on Saturday. Binder starting on Saturday. We all know that. I would have had Binder start on Wednesday. And yes, you can start talking about Emi Martinez, this, and this, and all these other, Aston Villa didn't want to do the loan. They wanted a high price sale. Yeah, okay, done. But you also got to remember last season, the keeper situation was bad, and also our goal scoring was bad. So we had to do what we had to do to get the goal scoring back. One player wasn't going to help us with our goals. Yes, we have Bruno in there, but we still would have been stuck with the midfield. So Bruno in there, plus the 10, or at the 8. And you know what? There were issues. And things did change with Bruno on the field when we did go to Grimsby. Bruno does make a difference on the field with us. He's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. But this fan base just needs to... You're either in it or just don't say anything at all. Just leave it. Tomorrow's game against Burnley is going to be tough. It's going to be a fight. There's a lot of questions going into it. But I know Ruben's still willing to be here. Ineos United are backing him with everything. So he's here. Sorry, fan base, you're not getting what you wanted. Ruben's staying. None of this, he's going to be gone by Christmas time. Stop it. Stop. Just stop it. We have to get things going. I'm not having a manager play to player strength. I'm not giving the player FC again. Build it, get the culture in, and go out and win. Bruno is definitely leaving next summer. We'll be cashing in on Bruno. Hopefully Højlund works out well. We cash in on Højlund next summer. Hopefully Anthony, we can make a sale off of him, whether now or in the transfer window. Same with Sancho. So, and then Rashford as well. If we can capitalize on that, we got some funds. If we can raise about 200 million from that, perfect. And I know people are like, 200 million. Well, if we get the 40 for Højlund, if we get at least 45 to 50 and plus 20 to 30 on there, and plus if we get just over 100, maybe close to 100 for Bruno, boom, 200 there. That's sales. Those are players. That's Wharton, that's Højlund, that's potentially Baliba, that's a new goalkeeper. That could be Lament. Lamens is coming now because of Garnacho, probably. Because now we have the sale for Garnacho, plus the loan fee for Højlund once that officially goes through. So, but yeah, that's what it is. But I'm going to leave it there. This I made this episode go on longer than it should have, but it went on longer than it did, for this part at least. But yes, we have an important match tomorrow. Let's discuss the importance of that match. Okay, so now that the fallout of Manchester United and Grimsby's out of the way, and I gave a rant and yada, 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 let's focus on a new match, new weekend. It's a long weekend, as always, like I said, mentioned here, but it is an important game tomorrow. It is. Every game's important. Because one, kind of have to carry over the fallout. So we need to see the players, I don't know, maybe their mentality show up and show who they are. Maybe yeah, that's basically it. we need to have those players show up and be who they need to be. Need to back the manager and like carry through. Like it's the truth. They need to go through and show us what we need. They need to be the squad that we need to have. Like I don't know why, but again, like I mentioned, I don't know why. Like I mentioned, inconsistency and Manchester United are best friends. Consistency is their distant cousin that you barely see. You see once in a blue moon. But this week, we have to see everything through. We have to see this team respond. We have to see the lapses that they've been showing the last two games. And you can even throw like the Arsenal game too. The lapses need to stop. They need to get their head out of their, and play. They do. And I know it's tough for Sesko, and I know he's just coming in, Cunha and Mbuemo. It's going to be tough for them, but they need to be ready to go. They need to be, get in. So, like, Binder should be in. Now, Binder needs to clear up his mistakes. He needs to fight in the box. He needs to be able to help defend corners. Actually, the whole squad needs to defend corners. And yes, I am aware that my name of the podcast is the Red Devil Corner Kicks Pod. and we're well aware of that. We're well aware that we cannot defend a podcast. So that's a noise coming out of the outside. But yeah, we need them to defend corners, set pieces. They need to be there. The keeper needs to demand where his defenders need to be to help clear that out. So we need Binder to step up and be there. Also, like our attack needs to finish. We need to finish. I want to see Sesko get in there, transition, hold up, and move forward. None of this passing the ball back. Go up, turn, hold up, go, turn. If you have clearance, go. Make the proper passes. To these players, to Ahmad, stop with the solo bullshit and pass the ball. I saw highlights yesterday. I've seen everything, just the awareness and all that stuff. I don't know what's going on with you the last couple of days, but you need to be aware and make the passes. That needs to be there. You need to be more open. Stop trying to take the shot yourself or try to be the hero. Just pass the ball and just realize what's there. Diego Dalot, the same thing applies to you. You need to read what's the hell's going on. If you're on that pitch, you have to see with your vision. Football, like we had this discussion last year too with many games. Football IQ just goes out the door and hero ball comes in. That's why Garnacho is gone. Okay? That's why Hoyland, like Rashford, Garnacho, other players, that is why they are gone, because their IQ is just like, let's just shoot it from 80 yards outside the box, not pass it to our striker or do anything with well. That's why Dorgu has succeeded. And I'm expecting Dorgu to start. Dorgu needs to start, and the way he succeeded is because he's making those reads. He's communicating with his 10. His 10 is telling him where he needs to go. So we're seeing that there. We're seeing a difference there with him and Cunha. So we saw that there. He's making the long pieces. He can be better with his vision, but we need to see that. But Ahmad, if you're playing the right wing back, you need to communicate with Mbuemo. You need to communicate with your mids. You need to see where your striker is going to be. You need to make those plays. And if you get into open, you have to read the spaces there and feed it to those who are open that can make a challenge. You see Cunha calling for it and getting upset. You see the same thing with Mbuemo. You saw the same thing with Sesko. Wednesday, last Sunday, the football IQ was out the door. And it showed. We had this issue last year, and you know what? It was same players that are kind of here now. Bruno, discipline, football IQ has to be there. As much as he can make great passes, he's got to be tracking back, he's got to be aware, and he's just got to get his head in the game. That's what it is. Like, I know I'm now going into a rant while trying to do a prediction show here, but what I want to see is some fight tomorrow. I want to see a retaliatory strike of them literally screwing over their manager, screwing us as fans. Like, you're at home against Old Trafford. You're at home. You're playing in front of us. You're playing it with Burnley. You played Burnley before, and I'm not going to hate on Burnley or anything, but we should be expecting you to be the better team over Burnley tomorrow. That's where I'm going to leave it as. We should be the better team tomorrow. The question is, Heaton, Delo, Maguire, Bruno, Lisandro Martinez. Who else am I missing? Heaton, Delo, Bruno, Maguire, Lisandro Martinez, and Mazraoui. 6 of you are the leaders of this team. It's great that I know Leach is out and I know Mazraoui's out, but you're still damn leaders of this team. Go into that locker room tomorrow and tell them what the hell needs to be done going to this game. That's what it is. I don't care if it's international break. I don't care. When you come back, you're playing City and then you're playing Chelsea the week after. We're so sick of the shit of when you're playing teams that we know that are not equal to you. I know they're not going to think. I know, like, we should be the better team over Burnley, but you should not be playing down tools to like them. You should not be playing there. You should be helping dominate. You should. We have the pieces here. Get over yourselves and think about the badge. Do I expect Kobe Mainoo to play tomorrow? To be fair, no. I'm going to say it. I don't expect him to be here tomorrow. I don't expect him to play tomorrow. Why? Because he wants to leave. And I mentioned it earlier on. If you're not willing to do what the manager's asking you to do, and it's just about you, goodbye. Don't show up. Don't play. If you want, you grew up as a Manchester United fan, you saw what this history was about. Be there. Will he start tomorrow? But again, the way things are going on, Ruben believes in him. Ruben wants him to succeed with him. He wants him to fight. This is kind of like Jadon Sancho with Ten Hag. Here we go. If that's what it's going to be, then that's what it's going to be. But let me get to my lineup here. I may make a change or two, but I don't know what may happen. But we are going to an international break. I was watching some of his press conference from earlier today. I'm going to rewatch that later on. Why? Because I want to. Because that's who I am. But let's look at my lineup here. I don't know if I'm going to change it, but I was debating it because again we're having that chat on Twitter. Yeah, I'm going with a unique formation here. And I don't know if he's going to try it, but I'm nuts for saying it because it did cross my mind to think so. Bayender and net is who I have. Yoro, De Ligt, Shaw together, yes, that's the best pairing there. You could bring in Maguire, but Maguire played a long time on Wednesday. He played from beginning to end, including penalties. Mbeumo, Casemiro, Fernandes, and Dorgu will be starting. Hopefully Dorgu is fine going into tomorrow. I know he took a knock, but he should be fine. Yes, Mbeumo as a wingback, I think try it out. But it's just something I was just willing to suggest. Ahmad just hasn't played well. Get him on off of the bench. Delo, don't have him starting. Xerxes, who had energy when he came on Sunday and definitely helped the team improve, which was incredible because of how well he moves the feet. Seshko, start. Cunha, start. Despite him playing along, we are in an international break. So again, Bayender, keeper, Yoro, Delit, Shaw, my back three. Yoro, Shaw should be healthy. Delit only played the second half and then participated in penalties. Same with Mbeumo. Casemiro was off. Bruno only played the second half. Dorgu left partway through the second half just because I think the knock. Xerxes, Seshko, and Cunha as well. Cunha, yes, him and Maguire. You can say why Maguire wasn't there, but Cunha, I think, will be there. If they are going to make a change, it will possibly be Cunha instead of Xerxes starting. But I think offensively, with the way Mbeumo can carry the ball and move it forward, it would be an improvement over what Ahmad is doing. And then the way Xerxes moves with his feet, I think the passing and everything in the vision will be something that would help Seshko and also work well with Cunha as well. So that's my starting lineup. It is. That's what it is. And if I'm Ruben, I will be ruthless. Like, as much as I love those players, Ahmad has struggled. He wasn't even great on Sunday against Fulham, and he wasn't great on Wednesday. Ugarte, same thing. Not good. The one thing, too, is we could see Mason Mount make a start as well. Like, we could see that change because Mason Mount did come on Wednesday. He only played for a little bit. So you could have Mount starting in Cunha's spot, too. So you can see that there. But I think, realistically, what I think is going to happen is Mbeumo, Cunha will be our 10, Seshko there, and then you see Ahmad as the right wing back. But from what I've seen from certain players, Delo, Ahmad, Mount, Heaven, Fredrickson, Cheeto Obi should be on the bench. Kobe will be on the bench, but chances are we probably won't see any minutes from Kobe. From the way everything is going forward, for everything that's being reported. And to be fair, I really hope everything that's been reported, because there's been one report where Kobe doesn't want to leave, but there's been multiple reports coming out since that one report saying that he is aiming to leave and wants to go get playing time. And United are willing to block it because they want him to compete. I know it's not easy with it, but like, chances are we probably won't. Like, if Kobe is starting, if there is, it won't be over Bruno, it will be over Casemiro. But since Casemiro has had the rest this week, I expect him to start, and I expect Bruno to be in that same spot. But will Ruben be comfortable with him? Because he has a player that doesn't want to play for him. He wants minutes and he wants to play because it's a World Cup year, not for the badge. And again, he wants to come back to United. Sorry to say, but definitely seems like he doesn't want to play for Ruben. He doesn't want to play for the team. He doesn't want to play for the manager. So be it. Goodbye. Sell him. Be done with it. Goodbye. I don't want to hate on Kobe. I don't want him to go. But if he's making it about himself and not about the squad and wanting him to play better, then we'll go buy another midfielder to help back up Bruno. We'll go buy another midfielder that way when Casemiro is gone, Ugarte is gone, we have that player there. And when Kobe wants to come back from his loan and Amram is still here and he wants to fight for his spot, and when Bruno is gone, do you think Ruben's going to give it to him now? Yeah, you got minutes, but you didn't get minutes for the club when we needed you. If Bruno starts struggling and we needed Kobe and you decided to go, you're not there. You're not helping out the club. I just want tomorrow to show fight and consistency and show that what we can do. Show up tomorrow, guys. Just show up. That's what we're asking. We're asking you to. I don't want you to go out and blow them out 15-0. I want you just to go out there, play well, and just win. Fucking win. Show us that you're not the squad the last 2 games. That's what we want to see. We want to see we want to see that you're mature and can handle it. Where are the leaders that I mentioned, the group leaders, and let me air quote that because Jesus Christ. Show up. That's all I want. I'm still going to support the club no matter what, but show up and just come on. Fight. You need to fight. That's what it is. That's why Ruben was upset. That's why us fans are upset. It's because you guys just don't want to do what, you don't want to show the effort. You don't want to show the passion. You don't want to show the will. You don't want to show that you're a Red Devil. Show it. Bring it. I know Bruno will keel over before, anything else, before he gets removed. But come on. The pressure's on you guys for tomorrow. Fight. Make up for the last 2 games. Show us what you can do. And I know I've had episodes and I talked about how tough it is at Craven Cottage and everything, but fight. It is not the system. I don't want Ruben to play to you guys. I want you guys to play. Fight and play. Just again, we want to see it. Again, if we had the starting lineup that I mentioned on Wednesday, I'm sure it would have been a different outcome because the mentality of our back would have been different. And you know what? I'm not going to talk about Grimsby anymore. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. It's done. We lost. I gave Grimsby deserved the praise that I gave them on Wednesday, and they deserve that. But I want to see a fight. I want to see I just want to see a response to the last 2 games. I don't want 14-15 game. I want a game where Manchester United look like they were in control from the first second to the final whistle at the end of 90. That's all we're asking, lady. That's what we're all asking, folks. That's all we're asking of this team is just play full 90 minutes to show what you're able to do. And make sure that's consistent. It shouldn't matter that it's Man City, Burnley, Leeds, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, Crystal Palace. It shouldn't matter. What you do should be there. What you showed against Arsenal on that Sunday should have been there on last Sunday, should have been there on Wednesday. But no, here we are talking about how there was no, we failed against Fulham. We showed no passion or fight in that first half, and players struggled to get what we needed to do. And here we are where we have players wanting to go. We have a manager who expressed his frustrations to the point where you have the media basically wanting him gone, and a fan base that's going, and half a fan base that's going with that. So today, this game is on the players to make up and respond to everything so far. Can they? I hope so. Will they? Who knows? It's a 50-50 game tomorrow. But just show up and bring the intensity that we need. Play for the badge, play for your manager, and play for the fans that are pissed at you. Play for the city. Just win. That's all. That's all I'm asking. I know this episode has become like a rant and a preview, but it had to be done. It's there. It's right there. But again, we saw the last couple of days the fallout of that game. It was just like last week. I think I titled one of my last episodes. Let me just take a look at my content here. Let's take a look. Yeah. It was after the first game, the fallout of the Arsenal match. Listen to it. If you're on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, if you'd like to listen to any of my previous episodes, might as well throw in a little piece there. But yes, that's what we're asking for. Just show us a response to the last two games. Okay? That's all we want. Just show us a response. They're going to look at, oh, hey, as long as we put pressure and we show more will than them, they're going to break United. That's literally, you know what the booklet is on how to beat this team? You show more heart, passion, you're more physical. That's how you beat this Manchester United squad. That's what it is, because you have players' mentality that cannot handle that. I want to see a response. Cunha did what he could to try to get us in there. Sesko tried. And Mbuemo got us a goal, wanted more. Harry Maguire tied it up. And like I said last episode, when we were talking about tactics, and people were upset that Harry Maguire was brought in on Sunday when we needed a goal, what Harry Maguire did in those final minutes in Wednesday's game to get us the draw and help us get us to penalties. That's why he was brought in. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to keep going and going and going, but I'm just going to leave it there. Yes, I'll be back tomorrow after the game, depending on the game goes. I might be, again, we'll see how tomorrow's episode goes, depending on how the game was. It's the truth. But yes, I'll be back after the game tomorrow. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, follow on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, and follow on Instagram, Red Devils Corner Kick Pod on Instagram and TikTok, and RD Corner Kick Pod on X. So hit like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment, feedback, everything. If you want to do collaborations, please let me know. Let's start getting that going. I know there's a lot of other fan groups going, but let's get a collaboration potentially going and get like a panel or something discussing this club. But yes, I'll see you guys after the game. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your start to the long weekend as well. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick Podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.